another episode of The Good,
The Bad,
The 30.
I'm your co-host Maya.
I'm Kiera Lindsay.
And I'm Alexis Hunt.
And today we are joined by the media mogul turned law school girly, Miss Jasmine Milan in the building.
So beautiful.
Love that for me.
No, we do. When we were in there, I asked her, I was like, so what do you do? She was like, I do a lot.
Everything.
That's my favorite kind of girl.
Everything.
True definition of multi-hyphenate.
Yes. And we're so happy to have you in the studio today.
I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So, I mean, we know you're a yapper. If you follow our girl on TikTok, then she's probably one of your favorite yappers. So, we are lucky to have her in the stew today.
Yes.
So, how's life been going for you?
You can
I mean, hey.
Oh, child, I wasn't even going to ask for permission. I was just going to take it there. You know, it's slightly ghetto, but God is good.
Amen.
That's all I got.
All the time.
It's ghetto and good.
Yeah, I
Ghetto and
mean,
good.
for sure. No, we have to ask our guests how they're doing because, I mean, we talk about the transitions of being 30 and all of the things that come with it, and it is a little ghetto.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of ghetto hoods to be in. How y'all doing?
I'm feeling good, feeling great.
I'm great.
love
It's
that.
season 3.
This season.
I know that's right. That's what I was just about to say. You know, it's a new season for us, and we got our, our things going on. But yeah. So Jasmine, you have taken on a lot of roles when it comes to the media industry, and you have transitioned recently. So talk a little bit about like your life as a publicist. Did you start off as a publicist?
Yes.
And what made you transition?
So I have about 11 years background. I've owned my company going on 11 years now in PR. I've always liked storytelling. Like, I think maybe it's the nerd in me. I also love reading. I loved my time in television production. So I think everything has just always aligned with that center reoccurring theme. As far as pivoting, I think that that's just one of the bravest things that you are entitled to in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And I think there's too many people that don't take advantage of opportunities to reinvent and evolve. And so I have to like put it in layman terms for my mentees when I speak to them. Like, if God told you right now you have 75 years to live on earth, do you really believe that the God that we serve would give you 75 years and you're just supposed to be one dimensional?
Doing the same thing.
You're supposed to do one thing. You're supposed to live one life. You're supposed to have one version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not even the type of God that I serve.
Yeah.
So I
Amen.
truly feel like whatever talent or skill that he has in me, I'm supposed to grow that seed and become those things.
I love that. Yeah, I am also in PR, but when people ask me like, what do I do? I'm like struggling to like I don't like putting myself in a box because it's
Same.
like I do a lot of things.
Just say you're doing your best.
I'm doing my best. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm looking good while doing it.
I know,
That's just all we can do. But like even in the storytelling capacity, like I'm also working on a book, but I love that you said we're not supposed to spend time on one track. Like we can pivot a little bit. We can do a little side quest. You know what I mean?
We love a good side quest.
My book is written. It's like in my notes on my phone and slightly in my Google Drive, but I'm like holding on to it.
You preach it to the choir, okay? It was supposed to come out last year, the year before that, this, that, and but it's coming. It's coming.
it
But
is.
you also have a book exchange. Kiera, how do you feel about that? She has a book exchange group.
Wait a minute. So how does the book exchange group go? Do you guys like each have a book and then you like swap books?
That's
what I'm
literally
thinking
it.
when I think of exchange.
Yes.
Okay.
So I originally was in a book club here in Atlanta, and it was great. But I think for me, the concept of like, take this book, you have 30 days to read it, come back, let's talk about it. My life doesn't necessarily
pressure.
work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was that character in chapter 2? Girl, I don't know. Like, I got stuff going on right now at work. So I think that being realistic, like all of the people that you start to know in your 30s, there are some of your friends that have kids, don't have kids.
Yeah.
You got multiple dogs. You got multiple husbands. I don't know. So like whatever your life is, not everybody got it to where it's like, yeah, I make sure I can read this in 30 days. So I always tell people, read at your own pace and also read the genre that you love. Because I really like self-help and romantic books, but maybe you're into thrillers and horror stories and stuff like that. So whatever it is that you enjoy, enjoyed, come and swap it with me, because that's also how you start to try different genres.
I like that
and I feel like the
idea.
best way that you learn about people is by hearing their story.
Yeah.
So one of the young ladies who I think came to our very first exchange nominated a book where she said it helped her go through a really, really tough divorce. And so after that, I forgot her name, but she's always the girl that like healed herself through this book, which is like, maybe she doesn't like that that's how I remember her, but that's how we start to connect, is when I know your story.
Yeah.
I really like that. That's really
I love
interesting
that.
too, just to kind of, because I feel like I'm always reading the same genre of books. I was in a phase when I first started reading books a couple of years ago. I was in that self-help book phase. Like I felt like I needed
Same.
help. Like I felt like,
think
you
it was
know,
a trend,
somebody
too.
come fix me.
That's a good way to get started. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me read a couple of these little helpful books and see what it's gonna teach me.
Let me get some help.
And then I kind of navigated to the Black romance books, and I'm kind of stuck here, babes. I'm not gonna lie. I have not read a bad Black romance book that has put me in a rut. So where it's just like I don't want to read anymore.
It makes her super hopeful too with her life.
I love it. You know, Black romance books are better to read versus watching on TV.
For
because
sure.
On TV, they skip steps. And
Yes.
it's not realistic. It's literally blown up like a balloon until it pops. It has to have all these different rises and falls. And when you read the book, it's just so gentle. It's so loving. And that's when you realize that not only is this realistic, but it's something that you truly deserve.
Yes, that's
love
literally the delusion that I have, and that is, at this point, it's not even a delusion. Like that's what I'm living by. Like I feel like my love life is supposed to happen the way that I've read in these books. You know, so it's just kind of become my my thing at this point.
Love that.
I understand that, because I feel like if y'all have ever read The Coldest Winter Ever, I think you said you have yet
I
to.
haven't, no,
you
but
really have to.
Is that
It's Sister Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say Soldier Sister. Sister Soldier. There we go.
Soldier
But
boy.
Tomato, tomato.
To that point, Midnight is like this knight in shining armor that everybody who's ever read this book, like they have fallen in love with this man in this book more so than like watching a movie. And it's like you love that because the way that they develop the characters is just a little bit more like you'll never forget how much you love him and why you love him.
Yeah.
So that's cute.
Yeah, I
gotta
just
get
started
that.
getting into books because my girl.
Yes.
So I'm only on like book 2.
Dada, you been
but I got a
reading?
Kindle.
She
I got my little Kindle.
Yay.
I be at the nail shop with my Kindle. I was at the hair salon with my Kindle. But I live a super, super, super busy life that like sometimes I only have like a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But I like how because my life is so busy, it helps me escape from everything I got going on, and it just draw into what's going on in the book.
That's what got me into reading like romance books or just fictional books in general, because I'm like, ugh,
You didn't escape.
I want to escape from what the hell is going on in this ghetto ass life, you know? Like, let me step into someone else's life. So that's really what like got me into it. Now I got like a whole
library
at this point. Like,
With your
I love it.
book exchange, how does that work? Like, what's the process? Like, if someone wanted to get into your group or whatever it's called, how would that happen?
We are no cost, no membership, no obligation. So if you want to show, you show. If you can't come next month, that's okay. We'll catch you next time. I pay for everything. We only have one book exchange that we just recently did where I did require people to pay, but that's because it was like a very thorough matcha flight class. And so it was just very...
Oh, so you guys do
sounds fun.
activities.
Oh, yeah, we do activities. Sure. Yeah, we do activities. We've done matcha flight tastings. We've done like picnics at Colony Square. We did a bookmark making class. I made bag charms because I be going off script. I do what I want to do. But yeah, we do a lot of fun things. I think our next one, I'll give y'all the exclusive.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Pages by the Pool. So I'm going to host a resort-style pool day where people can come and just tan, read, relax, and then exchange a book.
Tanning and reading?
Yes. And so we can be out there all day. Because that's me. When I'm on vacation, you give me a book, I'm going to be burnt by the end of the day. Because I'm going to be out there all day. So yeah, and so I always try to vow to pay for things because there were a lot of girls on TikTok specifically that talked about how they moved to Atlanta and it was so hard for them to find community.
Friends.
Yeah.
Everything that they were doing here cost $1 million, or it's a ton of like alcohol and weed involved, or or they just get caught up in like the who's who crowd
And
or
the
the membership memberships are like $350. I don't feel like you should have to pay for sisterhood.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm
love
from
that.
Atlanta. I have found an amazing community here that continues to grow. So I'm genuinely passionate about extending that community to other people. And if that means that I have to pay for it, so be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
is
love
so
that.
sweet.
That
Yeah.
I think that is so. Man, I'm gonna come with my sensory.
No,
too.
but pay for that pool.
And it's all like
Yeah.
family friendly. So I tell people, like, if you have kids, bring your kid because there's no alcohol.
Yeah.
So bring
Yeah.
your kid, bring your dog,
I
bring your
love
man.
that.
Do what you want to do.
I don't want to misspeak on the but how can they find you? Saying into the camera.
ATL Book Exchange on Instagram. Yes, follow
Grab
us. We're going to
phone.
be dropping our save the dates for our next exchange very soon.
Oh my gosh,
very
I love
exciting.
that so much. That is so
Yeah.
cool, and I haven't never heard that. You know,
We
Yeah,
are the
Georgia.
first exchange club.
I know, that's
At least
right.
in Georgia. I do
Yeah.
know that for a fact.
That's
We are the first exchange
good.
club. But I specifically created it to be something that people can recreate. So I was
Yeah.
very intentional about, like, I don't need to patent this. I don't need
Right.
an LLC. I'm not trying to profit anything.
Yeah.
So there have been people that have reached out to me and they're like, hey, would you mind if I started this here in Dallas? Girl, it's reading.
Girl,
I can't
yeah.
gatekeep
Yeah.
reading
Right.
from you.
Yeah.
Like, start it.
I think that every time that I've tried to start a book club, we always kind of venture off and it's never consistent.
Yeah.
But I really love that idea of like exchanging a book that you've already read with someone else, like expanding everyone's genre in reading. I think
Yeah.
that's really, really, really
I
dope.
love that.
Yeah, for
Super
sure.
intentional.
That's exciting. I'm
Super
looking forward to
intentional for sure. That's a
indulging
great
in
word
that.
for it.
Lex, you said something about just like how busy your life is and how reading has become like something that helps you slow down. And we do have a mental health guru in the building. So, can you talk a little bit about like how you even got into having segments or like being someone like mental health is a part of your niche?
I think for as long as I can remember, I've always navigated, I should say, I hate trying to say I've struggled with, but I've navigated or balanced what my mental health and my personal life looks like in relation to my mental health. I think that for me, the biggest goal has always been removing the caution tape around mental health because people approach it like it's heavy, so it's going to be heavy. But if you are an active, especially a Black person in society today, you struggle with your mental health to some extent. If you sit in traffic, if you have kids, if you are single, if you are married, if you don't know what you are, like you are balancing your mental health to some extent. So the fact that this is not a conversation that is more common and casual, the fact that people don't see mental health as something that should be talked about over tacos and tequila or game nights at the house is very interesting. So me and my friends challenge each other all the time to kind of interchange the focus of the conversation. So I could be asking you, hey girl, how you and your man doing? And then out of nowhere, I'm gonna be like, how are you?
Yeah.
Because you said something, I ain't like your tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shifted in your sink,
Yeah.
like, tell me what's tea.
Yeah.
You know, and however the language it is that you use to kind of enter into your conversations, I think is really important. But it definitely became a centerpiece in my life when I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder. And there was about 2 years where I was in and out of the hospital and like doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It was just the wildest thing. I was having panic attacks that would sometimes result in me losing my vision. I couldn't walk. It was really, really bad. And so for me, I'm like, something's wrong. Y'all need to figure it out because my body doesn't do this. And doctors are running all these exams and scans and they're like, you're fine. And I'm like, I don't feel fine.
Yeah.
So I think that even that alone, when people are having any kind of like sensation and doctors don't necessarily have a diagnosis for it, that something's still wrong.
Yeah.
And so you need to have a space where you can dump and figure out, what does this mean? What is the terminology? And what do I do to approach this?
Yeah.
That's really, really amazing. I feel like everything that you've been saying, you move with intention.
Yeah.
Like, you move with intention when it comes to you creating something, or, and I just met you today, you know? That's really, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
So of course, the good, the bad, the 30. We talk a lot about the good and then the bad. And a part of that is like, we've talked about grief. We've talked about, losing relationships, friendships, family members, they've lost grandparents, and just what that looks like in a day-to-day life. I think even you just posted something, was that this morning?
Yeah.
This morning.
Just like, how things just hit you. Like, you'll just be going throughout your day.
I literally will wake up, like, randomly, maybe, like, once a week, once every other week, And I'm like, dang, I cannot believe my grandparents are dead. Like, it literally just hits me like I'm still in shock. And it hits me in a feeling to where I'm like just finding out. Like, I literally feel that way every single time. And it's been 2 years since I've lost my last couple of grandparents. So I'm like, dang, I went from having 4 grandparents 2 years ago to just one. Like, that's absolutely insane. And I think that I'm proud of myself for acknowledging it. And I think that in the beginning of me realizing that they're gone, it was very heavy. Oh, I feel like I'm about to cry. It was very heavy for me because I'm like, dang, like these were people that had such a huge impact on my life. And now they're not, and now they're not here to see me accomplish the things that I feel like I'm beating myself up about accomplishing, like getting married, having kids, you know? So I think it's important for me to, as always, acknowledge it, sit in it for a while, talk to them if I can, and give myself grace. So that's what I've been learning to do over the past year.
Yeah, grief comes in waves for sure. Because I lost my grandpa 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years. But my mom's dad, and it still doesn't feel real to me. I feel like because he lived in Chicago that, I just haven't seen him in a long time. So sometimes I'll randomly like burst out crying, and then sometimes I'm laughing at a memory and looking at a picture, and I learned to just be grateful for the time that I did have and the moments that I did have with him, and that he was able to meet my son. Although he was super young, he might not remember, but I have pictures. But yeah, grief is very weird.
Really, really
it's very weird.
It's so interesting because y'all say like 2 years and 3 years, like it's just been 15 years. Like, and I'm like, to me, that's still a short amount of time.
For sure.
Especially when you consider the process of grief and how for most people, they're in denial for the first 2-3 years. So you probably haven't even gotten down to the nitty gritty of it.
Really,
that gives you something to look forward to. But even for me, like I remember telling one of my friends recently, anytime that people will say, oh, give it time, like things will get better, that is the biggest offense to me for someone to say that to me, because it kind of insinuates that I have the kind of mom that I can get over as time goes on. Versus for me, obviously I just reached 1 year since losing my mom. The first year, last year obviously, I feel like I was in shock. It was obviously like handling the admin and things for my mom. There was a lot of anger. There was definitely a lot of denial. I think there's still a lot of shock and denial. But coming into the second year is when I feel like I was finally able to feel things, because when I lost my mom, people got very nasty, and that's a different conversation. But now that the dust has semi-settled, because there's still some nastiness here and there, and I can actually say like, okay, Jasmine, how are you? Like, what are you feeling? And I can present a space for myself to feel those things. I think that now I'm grieving harder the second year than I did the first year, because the second year to me is like, okay, she really not coming back. Like, this wasn't a joke. Like how I feel today is how it's going to feel tomorrow, next month, next year. And that is very depressing for me, because it's not something to look forward to. So when people say it gets better, I think that in 5 years it's going to get worse, because that's going to be 5 years without my mom. And I'm 32. I've had more years with her than without her. So when you say like, oh, I get emotional talking about my grandparents, I'm like, I get it. You've gone 30-something odd years knowing them. And then you wake up one day and this person just not here. Like, what are you talking about? You're just not here. So the way that just interrupts your routine, your understanding of life, the neuroscience of it all, like that is really something to be studied. And I don't think that people even understand just like the blood connection, like literally the frequency that you have connected with your bloodline through your mom and then up to your grandparents. There's like an umbilical cord that's and you feel that every day.
No, you said something that I resonate with, that because I think that I'm 6 months into my second year. So, well, did I say that right? 2024.
Is it a year and a half?
It'll be a year in July, July.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
In June, July. But you said something that I resonate with. The first year, it didn't hit as hard as your second year. because then like you're literally like sitting in it, you know, like it's still a lot of denial and shock, like you said, but you're really sitting in the fact that they're not coming back. They're not gonna see you accomplish the things that you
in the physical
dreamt
form.
of them. Accomplishing in the physical form. So I really resonate with that.
Did you, and I don't know if you mind me asking, were you diagnosed with anxiety, what was it called? Anxiety, depression?
Anxiety disorder?
Disorder, okay. Before or after your mom had passed?
Before. I was diagnosed in December of 2020. And what's crazy, my mom had to move into my house to take care of me because I couldn't walk, I couldn't feed myself. Like literally my motor skills were going crazy. So even now I'll sometimes like call my friends and I'm breaking down because I'm like, I can't afford to be sick. I can't afford to have a panic attack because who would move into my house for 6 months and take care of me? You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I appreciate you all for sharing your
appreciate your vulnerability.
Yeah, for sure. I always say that there is a lot of strength in vulnerability anyway. And, of course, when I was checking you out and all of your good content, I just really enjoyed the fact that you have a series about this mental health and about your journey. Because we keep it really light, but I do love when we can connect over just like, you know, the things that we're going through, even if it's not, I haven't said this in a long time, cupcakes and rainbows. But it's important to talk about mental health and the different ways that it looks, because I feel like there's still stigmas to this day. Like, you know, year after year, we start to have these conversations more and more, but there's never, you know, you're never at your final phase of educating yourself about mental health. So that's deep. I appreciate that vulnerability from all of you all. For sure. So you are pursuing a law degree. So what's going on with that?
A law degree.
Is this new, or you been in it, or?
It's really hard to kind of put a pin in when exactly it became like a real pursuit of mine. I will say that 2 years ago, I made the decision I wanted to start studying for my LSAT. So that was at least something I was also able to share with my mom. And she's always told me, like, be a doctor, a lawyer. And then her whole thing was like, be a lawyer because win or lose, you get paid. Like, she would always say that, which is so funny. But I obviously, after she passed, I took some time off because I couldn't think. And then coming back into it, I think my therapist was the one that actually told me, like, hey, you sitting at home and just like waking up, waiting for a day to turn to night, you're going to make yourself sick. So you need to find something healthy to do. So I was like, well, let me pick up a contract job, or maybe I'll work with another client, get into Pilates. And then I was like, it's time for me to start studying again. Because if I don't do it now, I don't think I will ever do it. Mainly because at 32, things are happening.
Yeah, a lot of things.
I could get married tomorrow. I could get pregnant tomorrow. And who knows when that dream will drift further and further. Not to say that I couldn't do it with a husband or a child, but I feel like right now I have my biggest motivator in such a spiritual form. And even when there are moments where I don't want to do it, I'm like, Jasmine, if you're not going to do it for you, do it for your mama. And when I say that to myself, I'm like, let me get mine.
I can see you as a lawyer too. Like,
oh my God, if people say that.
You look like a lawyer. I feel like you have good poise. You're very classy. I feel like when I see black women,
graceful.
Yeah. When I see black women lawyers, I always see like that aesthetic of like very poised and intelligent, and you seem very smart. So I support you all the way, sister.
You can fight for me.
Which what is it? Focus or focus would you be?
Because of my background, I think I want to lean more into sports and entertainment, but I'm very passionate about family law. I love kids. I've recently become an Atlanta CASA. Shout out to the Atlanta CASA
program.
Just
get your certificate.
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
So essentially, I'm a court-appointed advocate for foster children who have been abused and neglected. And so obviously, there's a huge bulk of that work that I would be doing when I become a family law attorney. When I become a family law attorney. Things like that. And then, of course, when it comes down to like marriage and divorce, I am team women all day. And I love to see women get what they deserve. But I also love to see men, like I have so many guy friends that are like single fathers, and the situations that they go through navigating that is like there are people who do not have representation. They do not understand their rights. And so I want to be that person that can extend that knowledge and help to people.
That's absolutely amazing.
I think that's a good one.
With intention was the literal right term.
Yeah.
For you. Like, literally, that's amazing.
Yeah, it seems like certain things you go through or your passions, you literally... You
use it to elevate. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm kind of the same way. So that's why, like, I really, like, I can relate to you. Like, if I really like this, I'm going to take it a step further. And I'm going to use it. Because if I'm passionate about it, I feel like it's part of my purpose.
Yeah.
So, I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, kind of correlating that to mental health, like, what do you feel like is a void, you would say, maybe even in law or your previous being having a PR company? What conversations revolving around mental health do you feel are missing?
I think there is this constant need to be on all the time, and I think that that's very emotionally daunting, especially coming from a background like PR where you are your output, you are your visibility. If you don't produce, nobody cares. Like, stop saying you're a publicist if you don't produce anything. And the way you start to overly identify with your work becomes a problem, because in order for me to be seen as a good publicist and want for people to give me the big bucks, I have to roboticize myself in such a way. So now I'm going against my own humanity, and I'm creating no boundaries for the sake of getting the job done. So this whole conversation and this conflict of, like, prioritizing my job over my well-being, it's just not good, especially when you start inching into your 30s and there's other personal life milestones that are happening. And so you have to ask yourself, what does discipline look like? What does boundaries look like? And what does self-preservation look like? So for me, self-preservation has been the name of the game.
That's good. I think it's a great point that you said, the importance of being visible and, like, producing things, because I often feel like I have so much knowledge, but it's hard for people to, like, really feel like you know what you're talking about, because you're not currently, like, I don't have everything posted on my Instagram, but I, in fact, know what I'm talking about. I know the machine, you know what I mean? But it's hard having clients that are, like, they could be chronically online. They could be, like, into the trends. They could be hard-headed and know what they think that they know all there is to know. And one of my favorite things to say is, like, if you could get where you want to be by yourself, you would be there already. So, you know, I don't know everything. I just know what I know. You know what I mean? But it's funny because I find myself steering away from the profession just because of, it's hard to deal with people.
PR is difficult in general, and the industry has changed so many times. When I first got started, I was working under Nicole Garner of the Garner Circle, who is now in finance. Shout out to Nicole, love you. But the way that things have changed from then, just up until now, mind you, I'm only 32. Don't just make me feel like, why are things changing like this? I feel like a dinosaur. But I would say for you, like, your audience is your audience. And trying to be a publicist in a space and a social economy where people go online and whatever they see on Instagram, it's now facts. You know, we're operating in a space where people think that true PR is the shade room. And love what they're doing. Anybody that can create something, look, it's not for me, but I think that these constant, like, social redefinings of what real PR, what earned and organic and accredited media is, just makes it that much more difficult, not just for people to do their job, but, like you're saying, for people to enjoy the industry that we're in. I have fallen in and out of love with PR so many different times, which is why you've seen me kind of pivot through my resume, child. But I think that in some way, like, you have to find out who your audience is, why you're doing it. Why do you actually love PR? For me, I love storytelling. So even if PR starts to look different for me in some sense, it's always going to hone in on the storytelling for me. And just, like, honestly, when you find out what your why is, like, what is that motivator? And then what is the end goal for you? For me, the end goal was never to have my company on a building and this household name and 500 brands. I knew there were a specific type of clients that I wanted to work with. I worked with every single last one of them. I traveled. I made the money that I wanted to make. It's cool. I have the respect in the industry. I found a stopping point that worked for me, and I said, let's do television production.
Yeah. I love that. So since turning 30, what is your most valuable lesson that you've learned?
That's a loaded question.
Too. Girl,
Lord.
think on it.
Since turning 30, emotional safety is key in my relationships. Is probably the lesson that I've learned, and it's a lesson that I continue to learn as I navigate my 30s. In my 20s, I did a lot of stuff just for the plot.
I love doing stuff in the plot sometimes.
And it was fun. I always gave my friends something to talk. They knew if I was calling your phone at 1:30 in the morning, they was like, y'all, come on, our show is on.
Our show is on.
But coming into my 30s, I just don't have the energy for that. There's not enough Celsius in the world for me to be doing stuff for the plot. But I think as I have become a woman that genuinely knows who I am, but also someone that loves who I am, because I think those are two different things. I genuinely love the person that I am. And that wasn't something that I could always say. Like, I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine years ago when I was really in just like a depressed rut. And she was like, Jasmine, tell me 3 things about yourself right now. Decree and declare it to me. What do you love about Jasmine? And I just broke down crying. I couldn't name one good thing.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't name one singular thing. I'm a grown woman, like in my late 20s, and I couldn't name one thing. And here I am. I've accomplished all these things. I have people around me that love me. I know exactly what other people would say about me, but I didn't know what it was that I loved about myself. And after that, I just went on this journey of like, you have to really figure out who you are. And even if it's something like the cringy kinks that you're not crazy about, it's still you. And you have to learn to love those parts of you even more than you love the greater parts of yourself. So once I became that person, I think coming into my 30s was easy. It wasn't filled with anxiety like I thought it was going to be. As soon as I turned 30, that was the first time I felt feminine ever in my life. I felt like literally, it was like an overnight. I felt so feminine and flirty and dainty. And if I go to the grocery store, excuse me, sir, can you get that? I can't do it. But I also felt very sure of myself. Like, my no is a hard no. And it is a no without a comma. With literally just a period. I don't owe you an explanation to anything because I'm doing what's good for me without harm to you. So I don't owe you an explanation.
Absolutely. Ooh, girl.
She ate that.
No, she really did. You really, really did.
I agree. I was telling somebody else that, like, I've never felt more feminine until when I turned 30. Like, I was like, I mean, I was feminine, but not like super girly. But like now, I just feel more sexy and confident. And even like, I have a son. He's almost 7, and I feel like even this is the biggest I've ever been. But I feel so good about lady. I feel like I'm just, you know, that girl. You know what I mean? But yes, it was a lot for me to transition. But when you said something about your no with a period, that's something I actually just started this year. That was my 2026 New Year's resolution, because I always just took on stuff. If people asked me, I would do it. Yes, yes, yes. And I never had limits with myself. And so learning how to limit myself, like, girl, you have boundaries with everybody else. I have boundaries. A man can't do this, a friend can't do this, but what can't you do to yourself? I had to learn to set those boundaries for myself. Like, you have to stop. Like, you have to stop, and it's okay. And if people want to feel how they feel, they can feel how they feel, but like, you are the most important thing, and that is probably the biggest thing I've learned since turning 30.
The one thing that you mentioned is boundaries, because I feel like in my 20s, that's not something that I
didn't exist.
A boundary. What the hell is that? You know, so I think that in being in my 30s right now, I think that that's something that I feel like I've taken on, and I've established it within friendships and then also with family as well, and not feeling bad about not showing up when I don't need to, or if I don't want to, or when I'm overstimulated. That's another thing too for me, is I've become very more so vocal about how I feel, and not necessarily holding it in to kind of protect the other person's feelings. And I think that that's something that I used to do a lot, because I never wanted to feel like I was making someone else feel bad about like the certain situations that we were in, or experiences or something like that. Like, I always wanted to be sure that they're happy in an experience with me. So, and sometimes that would overshadow how I truly feel. So I think that being in my 30s now, I've really, set boundaries, but also been true about how I feel about certain situations, and that's family and friends. And I can say it's definitely shown up a lot in my family, which it hasn't before, because I'm like, you thinking in your head, that's your family. You got to do whatever for your family. But it's like, not necessarily. Like, it's sometimes. And I said what I said. And it's sometimes when you don't like certain things, or if you feel like your emotions are a little bit too high for certain experiences with your family, it's okay to take a step back and choose you, you know? And I think that that's something that I've taken away from, like, I just got here too. We getting adjusted. You got no roaches or nothing.
I love that you gave examples, though, because a lot of people do not know what boundaries are, or what it looks like for them and their life. So another thing that I've been doing is ridding myself of what I call sprinkle language. So, for example, saying LOL when I, like, ain't shit.
I'm not like
ain't shit, but
shit don't be funny.
But I realized this because someone texts me and they asked me for something that really inconvenienced me. And because I felt bad about saying no, I was like, oh, LOL. And then before I sent it, I was like, delete. Delete. Period. Because I said what I said. There's nothing funny. And I also don't want for you to see that LOL as like a space for you to say, well,
things can be misconstrued.
No, I'm very clear. I said what I said. My tonality was respectful, but I don't give you sprinkle language. I mean what I said, and I hope that you respect what I said.
No, for sure. I love that. And I think that something too, just kind of the transition of figuring ourselves out in our 30s, that's when you really, like, truly see the people that's supposed to be in your life. Because at that point, then they'll, you know, if they really love you, they'll accept it or not. And if they accept it and adjust on their end, you know, then you know, like, you a real one.
Because I would hope you're doing it as well.
Exact
like with me,
thing,
like,
you know?
I want feedback. If there's anything that you need me to adjust, like, that's another thing I've learned. Like, you're not always right, bro. Like, it's okay. Like, if your friends tell you something, I'd rather you be direct, or your friends or work or whoever. Like, I love bluntness. I love directness. Like, obviously there's a way to, like, not be nasty and rude, but, like, just be real. I don't like passiveness or whatever. Like, if you're feeling a way, just say it. And I'm not allowing anybody in this, like, age or decade to, like, be around me, and you can't be real with me, because then we're not really, like, we're not as close as I thought we were. Because you should be able to tell me, like, you know what, you said this and I did not like that shit.
I didn't appreciate
and I should be able to accept that and not take it personal. You know what I mean? So
I feel that.
You about to be 30.
I was just about to say,
the baby of the cool.
I just feel like it's going to be a segment now where we just talk about, like, you know, preparing me. Because
preparing you is hilarious.
Like, this whole storytelling journey has been
a
about
lot to look forward to.
You know what I mean? We've just talked about different things. We've aired out the friendships, the relationships, you know, all of the things, and I'm ready. I feel so lucky. I've always been the type to be around, like, older people, but I think that this podcast has been bruh, stop looking at me like
I ain't say nothing.
This podcast has been the opportunity to be connected a little bit more to people that are, you know, you guys are already 30. We talk a lot about what transitioning into your 30s looks like. And what I love is that we share some of the similar stories, you know, trying to find ourselves, trying to love ourselves, navigating friendships and losing people and all of those different things. So, obviously, once you're in it, you know, you'd learn even more lessons. But I just appreciate hearing, you know, all of the wisdom that you all provide.
Come on, wisdom.
We're wise.
Go ahead. You know, we're wise. You know what I mean?
We're wise and feminine.
I'm ready. I just feel ready. Like, I definitely feel like 28 and 29, I have already started dipping my toe into some of those feelings. Like, I am a bad bitch. I am.
Period.
Love that.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, resting in my, what is it? The soft girl era that y'all be talking about?
You hate that.
That is.
I had a little
we had a whole
trendy,
episode
I had a
about
little
that, too.
trendy phrase, but you know, the good parts about what that means, you know, because Black women are always like, we're just overachieving. We're always trying to like fight for something.
Not necessarily
instead
soft girl
of ourselves.
But soft girl moments.
Soft girl moments. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you said that last time. I like that.
Soft girl moments.
Yeah. Because we still got to get our coin. You know what I mean? Got to get that coin. But this was lovely.
This was
Jasmine.
We got to have you back, girl.
We love you, girls. I love it here.
Yes. No, we are really coming to the book exchange.
No, we are, for sure.
Y'all will have so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm so serious. Like, I love that idea. Like, I'm excited.
And
like,
I love a little activity. I love that.
Yes.
And they're so unique. It's not
when you
just
did the
a typical
Pilates thing, was that a part of it? Or that was just like a one-off? Because I saw on
I
your
think
page.
that was different. We haven't done a Pilates class yet.
Okay.
That's absolutely amazing.
I love it.
Well, yes, Jasmine. Make sure you plug the book exchange one more time, and then any of your other endeavors that you would like to share with the folks.
So you can follow
camera.
the Book Exchange Club on ATL Book Exchange on Instagram, and of course my Instagram, Jasmine Milan, for any other updates outside of that. Outside of being a new Atlanta CASA and obviously preparing for my LSAT, my law fellowship program, and then eventually law school, I'm just living the life that
She's
God
doing
wants
the damn
me to
thing.
live. Life is golden.
We're so proud of you.
Yes. You're a great example, especially for our viewers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, so our girl doesn't drink, and we've been sipping on this black on woman on sensory.
Yes.
Do you like it?
My God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
It got me feeling groovy.
Right? This is good. It's fruity. It's tea. It got a little kick to it. What can you say? This has got a little spice to it.
It is good.
Y'all put your foot in this one. Put your other one in.
No,
that's right.
shout out to them for sure.
Yeah, shout out to
that is
Sensory.
really, really good. Really,
And
really
the bottle, oh my God, just everything.
absolutely
the black
amazing.
top, love it. Blood orange habanero.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, all right, you all. It's time. It's the end of the day.
Girl,
Thank you all for watching another episode of The Good.
the bad.
The 30.
I'm your co-host, Maya.
I'm Kiera Lindsay.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Jasmine.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.